So we are talking about الثلاثي, and we're talking about الرباعي, and both of these have something called mujarrad and مزيد فيه. مجرد and مزيد فيه. Now here, مجرد ثلاثي. مجرد, we said فعل, 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 and we talked about the mudari' for that. يفعل or يفعل or يفعل. Does anyone have any question there?
No, all clear. Thank you.
You're welcome. And we talked about ثلاثي مزيد فيه, and we are saying مزيد فيه has مزيد فيه, which means added to بحرف واحد, and you have مزيد فيه بحرفين, and you have, which one we want to talk about today inshallah, مزيد فيه بثلاثة أحرف. So مزيد فيه, added to. Added to what? Added to 3 original letters. Not more original letters than that. How many added to? بحرفين, بحرف واحد, 1 letter. Or بحرفين, by 2 letters. Ba, it means by. So بحرف واحد, by 1 letter. بحرفين, by 2 letters. بثلاثة أحرف, by 3 letters. Which is what we want to talk about today, inshallah. But بحرف واحد, what did we see there? We saw the likes of أفعل. If you remember, best thing for you to do is to memorize the metin. Unless somehow you arrange these awzan in a good way. I think that's clear. أفعل, and we saw فعل, and we saw فاعل. All of those are مزيد فيه بحرف واحد. Any question here? Okay.
Clear for
And
me. Thank
بحرفين, by 2 letters, what did we see? We saw, let's go all the way over here, افتعل, and we saw انفعل, and we saw افعل, and we saw تفعل and تفاعل. Now, if you studied well, you should know that. Really, 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 since we went over this, shouldn't be like you're hearing this for the first time. Okay. So all that's clear for you. MashaAllah, looks so nice there. Yeah, do like that when you study the Sarf and when you study the Nahu. Make all your branches and all your trees and all your pies and all whatever you're going to do there. And that's going to make it easy for you. And as for بثلاثة أحرف, we didn't talk about it yet. And we did talk about ruba'i mujarrad and ruba'i mazidun fih. For ruba'i mujarrad, we saw fa'allala, like dahraja. And we saw for mazidun fihi, ruba'i mazidun fihi, tafa'allala, tadahraja. So what are you learning here? It's like you're learning the skeleton And the meat that goes on the skeleton is all the different words that fit these patterns. And likewise, the nahu, when you learn the nahu, it's like learning skeleton. Okay. So if there's any question, go ahead and ask, inshallah, and let's get started here. قال المؤلف رحمه الله, says the author, may Allah have mercy upon him. والثالث, and the third category of ثلاثي مزيد فيه, triliteral verb added to, is ما كان ماضيه على ستة أحرف, that which its past is upon 6 letters. So that means how many extra letters? 3. مثل استفعل نحو استخرج يستخرج استخراجا. مثل استفعل نحو استخرج يستخرج استخراجا. So like استفعل, this one you know. Like what do you know? You know استغفر, استغفر. نحو such as استخرج, to withdraw. خاء راء جيم has the meaning of exiting. The addition of this hamza, ta, and sin, among its meanings is seeking. So this means seeking and exiting. So that means to withdraw, to withdraw. Istakhraja, that's mildly مبني على فتح. يستخرج, that's مضارع مرفوع وعلامة رفعه ضمة ظاهرة. It's in a state of رفع. Sign of رفع is a ضمة. استخراج, that's the source. The masdar, استخراج. So you would say استغفر يستغفر استغفارا. استغفار. So what does istighfar mean? It means seeking forgiveness. That means repenting. وَفْعَال. Stopped on the sukoon there. And in this case, when I stopped on the sukoon, we got 2 sukoons in a row. This is one of the cases when it's permissible to have 2 sukoons in a row in Arabic. There's only a handful of cases. One of them is when stopping, because you're going to stop on a sukoon, and it could be that the letter before the last has a sukoon. Waf'al. So don't say waf'al, and that's it. If you do like that, you're probably going to have a terrible accent. But maybe you think you sound funny to yourself. If'al, holding your tongue there. Don't worry about it. Just follow the rule. نحو حمار يحمار حميرارا, such as إحمار يحمار إحميرار. إحمار, this is emphatic form of this one, إحمر. إحمر, to redden. إحمار, even more intense. Also, you know that tajweed rule, which is when you have something like this, you'd stretch it for 6 counts. وَفَعَال. So, where are the extra letters here? There should be 3 extra letters. Hamza, Alif, and one of those lambs there. Waf'awal. And this one. If'awal. If'awala. Nahwu such as i'shawshaba ya'shawshi bu'shi shaba. So say that one there. i'shawshaba ya'shawshi bu'shi shaba. I encourage you to read the metin. Read this metin. Yani, it's going to break your tongue in. If you want that for yourself. Yani, don't forget, you got to put the effort. Listening to the lesson is just the beginning. And reviewing your lesson is just only the second step. You got so many steps. I don't know how many steps there are. So second step is just the beginning, too. Review is another step. Practice. Sharing your information with others too. Shaba. It means to become lush. Like they have the example in the footnote here. The land. Shabat. That just for femininity, because ard is feminine. Kathura ushbuha, its bushes or its greenery became abundant. The land's greenery or bushes became abundant. So you can understand the abundance from the sound. I'shawshab. I'shawshabatil ard. Waf'anlal. Waf'anlala. نحوق عن سسيق عن سقع ساسا. Shows that I need to practice. If this was fresh with me, we'll just flow. That's what I'm telling you to do. Because when you study, like if you go to the Mahad and you really have to study and you have to be prepared and memorize if you want to keep up and not fail, then you're going to be flowing. نحوق عن سسيق عن سقع ساسا. MashaAllah, gave definitions in the footnotes. That's nice. I was looking in my definitions actually. So that's helpful there. It means to go back, and it means to delay or to procrastinate, to fall back. And also has other meanings here. This form. So who produced this booklet here, this, which we're looking at the footnote. They wanted to do service for the Muslims. Put the meanings here for those who are studying. May Allah reward them. Ameen. وَفْعَنْلَا نَحْوُ سْلَنْقَى يَسْلَنْقِ سْلِنْقَاءً. So, إِفْعَنْلَا. So originally it would be if'anlaya. If'anlaya. Don't forget. Al-Madi maftuhu al-akhiri abada. That's what you learned in Al-Ajurumiyya. Past tense verb always ends with fatah. This is saying we're going by. We're not going to take the saying. We're not going to go by the saying that's in Qatrun Nada. We're going to go by the saying that's in Al-Ajurumiyya. Past tense verb always, with no exception to the rule, is built with a fatah. It's just sometimes going to be estimated fatah. Like here, we're estimating the fatah. Waf'anla, because you can't actually put the fatah on the alif, but in our hearts it's there. Nahwu slanqa yaslanqi slinqa'a. They said islanqa waqa'a ala qafah. It means to fall upon the back of one's head. Islanqa. Oh, namma ala dhahri, or it means to sleep on one's back. Yani, when we say that's past tense here, that means huwa. Whenever I'm defining for you, I have the habit of saying to do such and such, but don't forget, this past tense verb is huwa. Waf'anla la huwa. Waf'anla huwa, etc. Istaf'ala huwa. He did such and such in the past. Also here, it says, نحو سلنقا يسلنقي. This is فعل مضارع. There's an estimated dhamma there, but the dhamma is heavy on the ya, so we're not going to say it. Yaslanqi, islinqa. Where's that alif coming from that I'm saying? Sounds like I'm saying islinqa, and that's what I'm saying. Islinqa, but the old Arabs didn't like to put a hamza between two alifs. Like how all these other ones end with alif. This one also really, it ends with an alif, but not in writing. The old Arabs didn't used to like to write two alifs like that. Not to mention the hamza was originally, it didn't have a character. The character of hamza is innovated. So they didn't like to write, but the rule is, the way the scholars say it is, they didn't like to write a hamza between two alifs, but they didn't used to write the hamza anyway. So there would just be an alif there. But you're going to say it, still has the same rule, they're just not going to write it, because it doesn't look nice, that's why. Islin qa'a, and that's in the Quran. So you'll find it in some places if you study the Quran. May Allah enable you. Ameen. وَفْعَوَّلَ وَفْعَوَّلْ نَحْوُ جِلَوَّذَ يَجِلَوِّذُ جِلِوَّذَا. إِجْلَوَّذ أَسْرَعَ, to hasten, to go faster. To go faster. To go faster than one was already going. To increase speed. Okay. Any question? And some of these you're not going to see often. Like if awwala, if anla, if anlala, even if awwala. These last ones you won't see often. This one, this one, this one, this one. Even this one you won't see very often. But istafa'ala, yes, you'll see it all the time. If I were teaching some people without going through this book and trying to give them some basics, I would not mention for thulathi mazidun fihi bi thalathati ahruf more than istafa'ala. Just to keep it easy, and because those other ones you're most likely not going to encounter them without delving into Arabic. So you don't need it in the beginning like that. Here you do need it if you want to study this book, because this book wants to introduce you to something that you need to be introduced to. Let me go ahead and add this here for you. وَأَمَّا الرُّبَاعِيُّ الْمَزِيدُ فِيهِ, and concerning the quadriliteral verb that's added to فَأَمْثِلَتُهُ ثَلَاثَةٌ, it has three patterns. Three models. It has three models. تفعلل, that one we already encountered it. So that's repetition. كتدحرج يتدحرج تدحرجا, for something to roll. It rolled. تدحرج. That's intransitive. وَفْعَلَّلَ كَحْرَنْجَمَ يَحْرَنْجِ مُحْرِنْجَامًا. Look, they gave footnote for this one, gave footnote for this one, didn't give a footnote for this one though. Why? Because that one's easy. You probably know it. And وَفْعَلَلْ نَحْوُ قُشَعَرَّ يَقُشَعِرُّ قُشِعْرَارًا. It's missing the مضارع. إِقُشَعَرَّ يَقُ شعر. You should be able to also figure out the mudari. يقشعر. Get the hang of that. يقشعر. كقشعر يقشعر شعرارا. The meaning of ihranjama is to crowd, to gather. And the meaning of iqsha'arra is to get goosebumps in your skin. Like, when your hair stands on edge. You'd say, iqsha'arra jildi. My skin got goosebumps. That's how you translate it. But you want to understand the Arabic. Iqsha'arra, past tense verb. If I say in English, my skin got goosebumps, it's like saying my skin goosebumped. If that were the verb, goosebump. Goosebumping. طيب. So, any question? And also, should we stop here? Now the author wants to talk about transitive and intransitive verbs. It's not long, also. So if you want, we can read that. If you want, we can stop here and start that next time. All right, we'll stop then. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك